This is Steve from Boxing UK. Absolute delighted to be joined by Joseph Parker. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Very good morning from New Zealand. I know it's the evening there, so we're just opposite times of the day. But I'm up and I'm fresh and I'm ready to go for another day.
Well, it's 7 p.m. here, Joe, so it's a lot easier for me than you doing this at 7 a.m., I think.
Nah, as fighters, you always get up early to do your training and do, start off the day well. So getting up at 7 is all good. I like getting up early.
Good man. Joe, because this is the first time we've spoken to you for a little while, I've got to start with the lockdown videos. I know you've probably talked about these as much as you've been in them. But you've got a couple of superstar fans, Michael Buffer. And I heard Eddie Earns say yesterday when he was talking about the fight that you're now a global media superstar. I don't know what your thoughts on that are.
The lockdown video, I think, was a great opportunity to try other things. And it was a great opportunity to lift spirits and give people something to sort of smile at and laugh at a hard time. And I enjoyed it. I think that was my highlight of the lockdown was spending time with the family, but also coming together with my mate Kerry, who's the magic man on the camera, editing and ideas, and come together and do things to make people smile. And I guess from now on, I don't think we'll stop. I think because it's just so much fun.
Presumably, you're putting them on pause while you're training for the fight, though.
That is, yeah. So at the moment, it is on pause because leading into a fight, obviously it is training. It's training, eating well, sleeping good, and making sure that you're getting the right, sort of program leading to a fight. So that's on pause, but I reckon after the fight, long may it continue.
Good man. You haven't got a personal favorite yet, have you?
Probably my favorite one would be Back to the Future, just because of the different the sort of characters that you had to play, and then also doing the split screen and being two people on the same screen. It was fun to do, and it was also a lot of credit to those in the industry, movies and acting, because it's not easy, and also doing the vocals and all that. It's a bit of a task, but again, it's fun.
Yeah, they were excellent, mate. Just an idea, you could do a Rocky or a Raging Bull one while you're in the gym.
Rocky, all right?
Rocky or Raging Bull?
Rocky or Raging, okay. Maybe I can. Maybe that's it. Okay, writing it down.
Good man. So Joe, you're back. December the 11th?
I'm back. December the 11th, Auckland, New Zealand, Spark Arena. I'm grateful for our team, management team, and also David Higgins for the work that they've done behind the scenes to make this fight happen, to get this fight sorted. It took a while to get it across the line, but we're here now. And we have a date, we have a time frame, and we know what we're sort of training towards. We're training towards the fight at the end of the year with Junior Far. Both New Zealanders ranked in the top 10 in the world. I think it's the only option of fights that we had this year.
And there's going to be a crowd there, which to us Brits, that's unheard of.
Yeah, well, with everything that's happening, there is no crowds around the world, and we've seen many fights behind closed doors, and we're sort of wondering, how is it going to be? Is it going to be good? How are the fighters going to react? But it all went pretty good. When we were watching here from New Zealand, watching the fights that Eddie Hearn put on, and also Bob Arum, those fights were cool. It's just real different with no crowds. But New Zealand, if we are able to maintain level 1 until the end of the year, we will be able to have a massive crowd there, cheering on both fighters, cheering on the undercard, making some noise, making it a great atmosphere.
Can I talk about the fight in a minute, Joe? Because you're one of the few boxers that's actually already been out this year. Yeah,
I'm very fortunate. Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people say, oh, it's been a bad year, but I started off the year really well. I started off the year having a fight in February. Yeah. Had a fight in, against Showdown Winters. And so I was able to get out there, and shake off the ring rust, because I hadn't been in the ring for a long time. And then all of a sudden the COVID hit, and my plan was to fight three times this year. But I'm very fortunate that we're going to lock in another fight into the year, which will make it 2 fights in 1 year. 2 fights in one very hard year. That's good.
It is. Do you think it'll make a difference that you've had that fight, Joe, going into this one?
I think it will. I think, obviously the more you're in the ring, the better, you are, and the better you get, and just gaining more and more experience each time. But also, being out of the ring for a long time, you may have ring rust, and even though you can do training and sparring, it's a lot different just being in the ring and fighting.
A difficult question, I suppose. Do you feel, because you've been out of the ring for a while, Joe, since you've had the 2 high-profile fights, do you feel personally that your stock has fallen, or do you think it's just a matter before you get right back up there?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, maybe through the lockdown, it went up in a different way. But I don't know. I just think it's a matter of just getting back in there, taking care of business, and doing the job. You got to get in there. And people are attracted to watching great fights. They're attracted to watching knockouts. So if I can pull that off at the end of the year, that's what I'm going to aim to achieve. Good
man. So Junior Farr, fellow New Zealander. I understand you've already fought 4 times, and it's level pegging at the moment.
Yeah, we fought 4 times as amateurs. But if he's hanging on to that for confidence, that's good on him. But a lot has happened since the amateur days, and the professional game is the whole new game. It's a lot different to being 3 minutes, 3 rounds, rushing everything. And then, but once you become a professional and you sort of learn more and more, and you're able to work on your fitness and your eating and your skills, and have a better team around you, it's a lot different than actually what happened in amateur days.
He's a confident chap, though, isn't he? Because I watched the press conference earlier, and he said he's the best heavyweight in New Zealand, and he's just going to prove it. So, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, if he feels like he's the best in New Zealand, then that's good on him. At least he's saying things that gives him confidence, But he has to be confident going into this fight. I mean, if you sign a fight, in the back of your mind, you are the best. You're going to go in there and smash it. So we need someone that has his confidence. But in saying that, I've been the best in New Zealand for a long time, and I want to prove that December 11th.
So it's too big a step up for him at this stage, do you think?
I think it's the only fight that was on the cards for both of us, just both being in New Zealand, everything that's happening around the world. But I guess I feel like my career has been, if you look at the opponents, it's a little different. And maybe it is a step up in fights. There's only one way to find out, and that's to, make it happen on fight night and see who comes out on top.
Is there any bad blood between you, Joseph? Do you get on, or is there any rivalry or a grudge between you?
No rivalry, no bad blood. Very respectful towards each other. I think for us, it's just a matter of getting out there and doing our best. And obviously, he has goals. I have goals. I want to be 2-time world champion. I want to be unified champion. Given myself, 35 years old and under, I want to try and achieve that. And if I can, it'll be amazing. If I don't, I'll retire and do something else. But I think there's no bad blood. It's just business as usual.
So the 11th of December, Joe. I have to obviously ask now, presuming you get the win,
yeah,
would you if you could set out the next perfect year, 2021, what would you go for?
If I could set that would be, obviously there's the fight happening with Chisora and Usyk. I'd love to fight the winner of them. I'd love to fight anyone. I mean, Dillian and Povetkin, any of those guys. And I just want to be involved in big fights, but also hard fights. And I want to fight for the world title again. And it's Joshua's, obviously holding 3 of the belts, and Tyson Fury has 1. So Fury is a very close friend of mine, and it always, pretty looks after me in the division and looks after me as a friend. And I guess Joshua will be the person I'll go for.
From the British angle, obviously you have already fought Hughie Fury, Dillian Whyte, Anthony Joshua. So you're certainly well known enough over here. Would you love to get back? And because your manager David Higgins is constantly on social media calling for the rematch with Dillian. Is that because you want that?
Yeah. It's because I really want it. And Dillian Whyte's done incredible in his career, right? And we had the fight. He was the better man on that day. Been calling for the rematch because I know that we can have another great fight, and I know that I can beat him. And he's been David Higgins has been very, very vocal. It's not really in my sort of persona calling people out. I have been saying, I would love to fight him, but it is in a respectful way. And I would love to fight back in the UK. I love fighting in New Zealand. I love fighting in the UK. You know, we've gained a lot of friends, gained a lot of support there. So it's always good to come back there and, you know, see our friends again and put on a good show.
Can I talk about the Dillian fight just for a second? Because if you'd had 30 more seconds, Joe, it's probably you would have won that fight. Do you have any regrets that you didn't pile on him earlier?
People say, you know, if he was given another round, if he given 30 seconds, but the truth is, we were both given 12 rounds to do what we had to do. Yeah. And after 12 rounds, he was the man that had his hand raised. But I reckon the point of difference in that fight would be the head clash, you know, the headbutt that received in the second round. But no excuses, that happens in boxing, you know, and you just got to, you know, come back stronger from that.
And what did you make of his fight with Povetkin? I'm assuming you had some eager eyes on that one.
Eager eyes on that one, watching with a lot of interest. And, you know, he was dominating, and then just it shows that one punch can change everything in the heavyweight division. You know, I think any division, but one punch, you know, just out of nowhere. I mean, he sort of set it up, but one punch just changed the whole course of the fight.
And how do you think the rematch is going to go, Joe?
Very interesting rematch. I don't know now. And I thought the first fight White was going to, you know, get rid of him, and then that happened. So now I'm just I'm not sure now.
Right, Chisora Usyk. You've already mentioned Derek. Weren't you going to fight Derek before? But
I was supposed to fight Derek, and then yes, spider bite. You know, I had no idea that spiders could do that, or spiders in New Zealand could do that, but I guess it didn't give me any powers though. I mean, I was very excited for that fight. Locked it in, went into camp, and then all of a sudden my body started deteriorating in the third week, and then, you know, sweating at nighttime, can't sleep, and then, you know, the body felt lethargic. And then I sort of went and saw the doctor, and the doctor in Vegas said I had a spider bite. And I still have the mark on my leg now, but it's just the difference that I've really felt in my body. I've never felt it before. So I think the sensible thing was the doctor pulled us out of the fight, which I begged, please don't. Please give me a week or 2 weeks to recover. But he said I wasn't able to train, which means I'm not able to fight. And so it was bad. You know, bad being caught in a fight. But it's I think health is more important, and you can always fight another day.
Absolutely. So again, you'll have all eyes on Usyk and Chisora, especially with it being the WBO route.
Yeah, and that's a great fight. You know, we still don't know what Usyk's how he's gonna adapt in the heavyweight division. We've seen him with one fight, and not many people sort of they didn't really sort of gauge whether he can actually settle in the heavyweight division or not. You know, so I think this will be a true test for him. Fighting someone like Chisora, comes forward, throws punches, throws bombs, and he's just relentless.
And Usyk?
I reckon Usyk will. I think he just has to box and move and be smart. You know, because you're fighting against someone who experienced. Chisora's been in the game for a long time, and he just, you know, like I said, pressure, comes forward, throws punches, and if he catches you, you know, it's good night.
Because that's the argument, isn't it? A lot of people say that with Usyk being a cruiserweight, can he take the heavyweight power?
Yeah, can he take the heavyweight power, or can he keep Chisora off him, or can he outbox him, or does he have enough power to knock him out? All these questions are still up in the air, waiting to be answered.
Would you like to throw a prediction our way, Joe?
I would pick Usyk. Yeah, for that fight. I'm not sure with the Whyte and Povetkin fight. I'm 50-50 on that one now. But I think Usyk can take it out. We'll just, you know, that's why it's so exciting, because we just don't know what's going to happen.
But you would take the winner of either?
I'll take any of them. Any. Winner, loser, whoever wants it.
No preference.
No preference. There's just the best guys in the division that'll help me get back to the top.
And in your mind, Joe, are you absolutely confident that you'll get another crack at the world title? Because the way that it's mapped out over the next few years, probably.
It's all, yeah. In my mind, I'm very confident that I can get there again.
Yeah.
But like you say, there's a lot of things that are happening in the division where the belts are tied up. There's a unification belt that might happen, and, you know, that'll drag it on and on and on. There might be rematch clauses. So I think the thing for us, other heavyweights who are just waiting for the opportunity, you just have to be patient and just have to fight the right fights at the right time, put on good performances, and your time will come.
Timescale, would you hope realistically 2021, 2022?
I reckon 2022, just to be realistic. Just because, like I said, the belts are tied up and there'll be rematch clauses and we just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And I know you're very close friends with Tyson Fury, but it looks like Deontay Wilder is out of the trilogy fight.
Yeah, I saw that being announced.
What do you think will happen, Joe? Any inside information? Has Tyson been in touch?
No, he hasn't been in touch yet. But from my own opinion, would be I think you'll fly someone in to fight, and just to keep busy, but also get ring time. And then I think they'll try and set up the big fight with Joshua. So it's no matter what happens, I think it's everyone can see that it is going to happen.
And I know I've pushed you a couple of times, Joe. Sorry, but if there was a unification and it was Fury and Joshua, and you've shared the ring with Joshua, good friends with Tyson, who would you pick and why?
I would pick Fury. I feel they're both great champions. And I've been in the ring with Joshua, and he obviously beat me and controlled the distance, used his reach. I just think, my personal opinion, that Fury has more in his more weapons. He can box and move, and he's very slick, but also come in and fight, and he can chase you around. So we just, I back Fury to take that fight.
Good man. Can I just chuck a couple of names at you? Have you been watching the fight, and particularly the fight camp over in New Zealand?
Fight camp here in New Zealand?
Yeah. Have you been watching the Eddie Hearn back garden shows?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Yeah, because obviously you shared the ring with Sean Del Winters, and then we had Alan Babbage.
Babbage.
Yeah. Just, is there any other heavyweights that are catching your eye at the moment? Obviously, we've got Daniel Dubois, we've got Joe Joyce.
All those heavyweights coming through, or all those heavyweights that are out making noise out there, you always got to keep an eye on them. And so, because you never know, you might fight them one day.
Good man. We'll just leave the last word to you, Joe. December the 11th, what can we expect over here in the UK?
December 11th, tune in. It's going to be a great fight. I worked on a few things, so hopefully I can show you guys a bit of a difference in my style and my approach. More aggression. Let's go.
Good man, and hope to have you back in the UK once all this madness has died down.
I can't wait to be back.
Joe Parker, I really appreciate your time. It is 7:20 in the morning over there, mate. So go and get some breakfast.
All right. See you soon, brother. Have a good day.
Man. Thanks for your time, Joe.
Have a good night.
Take care, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too, bro.